It's so unnatural for a woman to be promiscuous. For men, we were designed by nature to be promiscuous. We were designed to have a high body count. We were designed by evolution to spread our seed. This is why men produce an infinite amount of sperm. This is so obvious. It's crazy I have to make this video. So today we're talking about why a high body count wrecks women and it doesn't have the same effect for men. It's actually a good thing for a man to have a high body count. Very bad for women. Obviously, genders should be treated equally under the law, but we're not the same. Biologically, we're not the same. So I'm gonna tell you in this video why high body count is so bad for women, why it's not bad for men, and it comes down to evolution. So evolution doesn't care about the modern society's opinions and modern society's values and politics. Evolution is like millions of years. Time is a huge aspect of evolution. So this is a very powerful force. Nature, evolution, time, all of this is way more powerful than modern values and modern culture, even modern technology. People always bring up, oh, we have condoms now. We have birth control pills. Women can have as many sexual partners as they want and they won't get pregnant. We have abortions. Evolution doesn't care about abortions and about birth control pills and condoms. Men's and women's biology is different. Our brain structure is different. Our hormones are different. And because our biology is so different, this leads to a very different psychology as well. So it's very bad for a woman's psychology and her mental health to have a high body count, to have many different sexual partners, to be promiscuous. For men, we were designed by nature to be promiscuous. We were designed to have a high body count. We were designed by nature, by evolution, to spread our seed. This is why men produce an infinite amount of sperm. Our balls will generate sperm endlessly. All it takes is one little sperm. When you ejaculate, that's like 100 million sperm, I think. It's definitely in the millions of sperm every time you bust a nut. We were all once, long ago, a sperm swimming in our dad's ball sack. And then we won the sperm race into our mother's egg. And now we are a human adult. So we all came from one sperm and one egg. The egg, the female sex cell, is very limited in number. Women are born with about 400 eggs. And every time they have their period, they're losing an egg. Over the years, the quality of those eggs goes down. And the older they are, the pregnancy becomes more risky because the quality of the eggs becomes worse and worse the older she gets. So women are incentivized by their biology to have children when they're younger. A man's sperm quality does not degrade in the same fashion. It does degrade over time, but this can be completely nullified if the man has a young woman. So as far as reproduction goes, I mean, reproduction, it's kind of the point of life. We are just vessels for our DNA to replicate itself. And everything you do, everything you desire, the way you think, all your wants and all your fears, and it all boils down to your DNA trying to reproduce for the human species to continue. This is why my channel is about female nature. My product is called The Brutal Truth of Female Nature. You can buy that now, top link in the description and pinned comment. And this is why men desire women. This is why men desire sex. It's for reproduction. This is the core issue, reproduction. So if women have a very limited number of sex cells, it makes them very selective on who they have sex with because you only really get a limited number of tries. So women select for the highest quality genetics possible. This is a side point, but this is why women don't want to know about your self-improvement. They want you to just be a top man naturally, genetically. They want you to have superior genetics. This is why women love tall men. You can't fake it. You can't fake being tall. I mean, now they have these surgeries. They like extend your knees or something and it makes you a few inches taller, but I digress. So infinite sperm, very limited number of eggs. This biological difference is huge and it has huge implications. Moving on to hormones. Men have way more testosterone than women. It's not even close. It's like 10 to 100 times more testosterone. And testosterone makes us more aggressive in our mate seeking. It makes us more horny. It makes our libidos higher. Female bodybuilders who use steroids, who inject themselves with testosterone, they can attest to this. They just become extremely horny, and they can't believe that men just naturally feel this way all the time. We desire sex more than women, and because of our unlimited sex cells, we want to spread our seed. Nature designed us to spread our seed far and wide. It's not a big investment for us to just ejaculate inside a woman and potentially create more human life. For the woman, it is a big investment. She will be pregnant for 9 months. No other man can impregnate her while she's carrying that child, and she has to rear that child for years. So it's a huge investment for the woman. So that's why practically she has to be very selective. Nature designed women to be highly selective with their mate and only choose the best mate that she could get, just the one best man. Whereas men, we just want sexual novelty. This is a huge thing for men. We crave sexual novelty. It's just not gonna work to only have sex with one woman. A woman can have sex with one man, and this is actually the most natural thing for her, as long as he's the best man she could possibly get. And this makes it so polygyny, like one top man with a harem of lots of women, polygyny is the most natural like family structure. One man with lots of resources and very high quality genetics, and he has lots of women. He has lots of children with those women. And then the vast majority of men divergence. This is the most natural course of things. Humans got creative. All the beta males, they got creative. They got together. They're like, how do we stop the alpha males from hoarding all the women? We also want a genetic legacy. We want children. We want a wife. The beta males got together and they created this system, this institution of marriage. And like they put all these rules and societal boundaries and constructs in place so that the beta males will be able to procreate as well. But historically, it was only the top men, the strongest, fittest men who would spread their seed, have many, many children. And then the vast majority of weaker beta males have no children, have no sex. This is the natural way of things. If you feel like society is going back to that, back to polygyny, the top men get all the women, that's because this is the most natural state. So beyond hormones, beyond the testosterone making us more horny, making us crave sexual novelty, and like even if you have the most beautiful wife in the world, you'll still cheat on her because you want something different. And women think, oh, he cheated on me with this girl who's so ugly. It doesn't matter if she's not more attractive than you. A man will cheat on any woman as long as she's different than the one he has. This is sexual novelty. We crave sexual novelty because deep down we have a desire, an urge, an instinct to spread our seed. That's why nature gave us 2 balls that generate an infinite amount of sperm so we can spread our seed far and wide. And that's why nature gave women a very limited amount of eggs. They are not supposed to be having a high quantity of sexual partners. So besides the testosterone, besides the number of sex cells being so dramatically different, there's also the brain structure. We have different brains. The female brain has a thicker corpus callosum, which is the thing running down the middle of the brain that is like a bridge between the 2 hemispheres. So it links the logical side of the brain with the emotional side. And because of that, women are much more emotional and they're incapable of separating logic from emotion. This is why a man's superpower is to be rational, to make rational choices despite how he feels. He can separate his emotions from the logical side of his brain. Women, not so much. So a woman can't really separate emotions during sex. When a woman has sex with a man, she has no choice but to feel some kind of emotions for that man. Whereas men, we could just have sex with lots of different women and really feel not much. Beyond pleasure, we're not really having any kind of emotional bond with the woman we're having sex with. It's not necessary for us. whereas for women, it is necessary. The more men a woman has sex with, the higher her body count, the weaker becomes her ability to pair bond. Because the more you do something, it stops having the same intensity, it stops having the same power. So if she's emotionally bonding with so many different men, this is like kind of traumatic actually, because every time she has sex with a man and then she has sex with a different man, it's like she broke up with the other one, so he's not in her life, and now there's a new guy, and then there's another new guy and another new guy, and this is like a repetitive emotional trauma that women undergo. And women who are promiscuous and they're just living that whole life because they've been brainwashed by feminism and gender equality to believe they're the same as men. So if men can have sex with lots of people, women can do it too. These women are not realizing what they're doing to themselves. They're not realizing what they're doing to their mental health, because it's so unnatural for a woman to do this. It's so unnatural for a woman to be promiscuous. Nature did not design women to be promiscuous. They designed men specifically to be very promiscuous. Men compete with each other to see who can be more promiscuous, who can attract more women and have sex with more women. On a physical level, there's been studies that show every man's DNA who a woman has had sex with and he finished inside of her, the DNA from his sperm is still inside of her body. So girls, if you've had like multiple men finish inside of you, all those men's DNA remains inside your body to this day. You physically carry the DNA of the men you've had sex with if they nutted inside you. And going back to the competition of men for women, for mates, men have to get better and better to get more women who would be attracted to them in order to have sex with those women. We have to improve ourselves, and we have to have a strong genetic base to improve from as well. So the black pill guys who say, oh, it's all about looks, it's all about genetics, there's nothing I can do, there's a grain of truth. Yes, your genetic base that you start from, this does matter. I was born as a tall man. I'm 6'2", and I have a good frame to build from, but I could be like this. I used to be extremely skinny. I could be very lanky and skinny. I've put in years of dedication in the gym to build my physique. And if I didn't do that, I could be a sexless virgin like some of you guys. There's lots of tall men who aren't getting any women. So the genetic base, it is important, but it's also very important what you do with it. It's important how you play the cards you were dealt. So the black pill guys are just delusional. They're just lazy. They don't want to do the work. So they're just going to be like, it's all looks. It's all genetics. Don't even try. Just be an incel and play video games. And sure, do you. More money and more women for me, I guess. But the point of this channel is to help you guys realize that it's really a huge part of it is in your control. But anyway, men compete and try to improve themselves so they could spread their seeds, so they could have a higher body count, more sexual partners. Women don't have to do that. Women are born with their value. They are able to produce life, so that's their value. Their youth and fertility is the value they have. They don't have to improve. All they have to do is try to preserve that value by not sleeping around, because a woman can have sex anytime she wants. It's really not hard. She doesn't have to improve herself to get sex from men. Even the woke Western liberal society, even they can admit to this. So if a man has a high body count, this is a great measure of how good he's doing in life as a man, because the better he becomes, the higher his body count can be. And the lazier he is, the less he tries to develop himself, the lower his body count will be. Whereas women, their body count does not measure. It's actually the inverse. So a woman, the higher her body count is, the lower quality she is. And the lower her body count is, the higher quality she is. This is why virgins are so highly prized. A beautiful young woman who is a virgin, this is like the ultimate value. She can't have more value than that as a woman, really. A man who's a virgin, he's probably a very low value man. Even if he is like a billionaire, if no woman wants to have sex with him, his value is pretty low. But if he has a high body count, it means lots of women want to have sex with him. It means he has a higher value. Imagine these two scenarios. You have a woman who is a virgin and she's completely broke, has no money. Then you have a woman who is a billionaire, but she's had sex with like 10,000 men. Which one of those women has a higher value? I think we could all agree the broke virgin has a way higher value than the whore billionaire. Now look at the opposite. Look at a man who is a virgin and he's broke. A man who has a high body count, he's fucked 10,000 women and he's a billionaire. Who has more value? Obviously, the man whore billionaire has more value. Do you see where I'm coming from with this? High body count for women, terrible. It means she's a low quality woman who has no self-control and she's going against her biology. A man with a high body count, he must be a great man if so many women want to have sex with him. This is so obvious. It's crazy I have to make this video. But like I said, the Western woke society, in their pursuit of pushing gender equality ideology, they try to convince people, and they have been successful in convincing lots of young people, lots of young men, that they are the same as young women. And they've convinced young women that they're the same as young men. There's so many young women in the West, liberal, feminist, woke women in the West, who are just whoring themselves out and who have a high body count, thinking it's fine because, oh, if a man can do it, so can I. So this ideology, which is so ass backwards and so delusional and completely disregards nature and biology and millions of years of evolution. This is what's like the mainstream these days. This is the mainstream culture, is that men and women are the same. A woman can sleep with as many men as she wants. It's totally fine. She can get abortions. She can take birth control, whatever, to mitigate the harm of her philandering, her sexual promiscuity. And they're convincing these women that it's okay, that it's normal and natural. They're the same as men. So if men can have sex with lots of people, so can women. And this is just so wrong. So that is why body count means vastly different things depending on the gender. If you're a man, high body count, good. You're doing well in life. If you're a woman, high body count, very bad. You're not doing well. You fucked up. All the women who already fucked up, they're going to cope and try to come up with... Please, if you're a woman watching this and you disagree, please leave a comment and tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I misunderstand biology and nature and why it's okay for women to have a high body count. I would love to hear the counter argument to what I've said in this video. I'm an expert in this field of nature and female nature especially. Get my ebook, The Brutal Truth of Female Nature. In my ebook, I explain exactly how I came to these ideas more in depth. So for the deep dive on female nature, I don't really talk too much about the whole high body count thing because to me it's so obvious. Like, of course women should be chaste. Of course women should be selective, highly selective as nature intended. If you're having sex with lots of men, you're not being selective enough. Like the video, leave a comment if you agree, if you disagree. Please tell me why I'm wrong if you think I'm wrong. Subscribe to my channel for more men's topics. Talking about women, this is a men's topic because we obviously care a lot about women. And I always tell you guys, if you want to get women, if you want to be successful in dating and love and sex and relationships, stop caring about it. But we do care about it. Like in my last video, a lot of guys are like, oh, I genuinely don't care about women. But I find that very hard to believe because just because of nature made us care about women. We have to care about women because nature wants us to have sex with women and procreate and make more humans. So if you're saying you don't care about women, but you don't have something that you care about way more, then you probably still care about women and you're just pretending. Like me, I don't care about women, not as much as I should based on my biology, because I care about becoming a god. I care about improving myself and sacrificing everything, including my humanity, to supercharge my personal development and become a new species of man, a cybernetic human demigod, the Übermensch. Nietzsche thought the Übermensch was something that would happen over the course of hundreds or thousands of generations of people having kids and their kids being better than them, and then their kids being better than them, and so on and so on and so on. This is why he was a big fan of aristocracy, because it's like a family lineage, and the goal is to make your children better than you are in every way. And as this process continues over hundreds or thousands of generations, Nietzsche thought eventually people would become so much better that they wouldn't even be recognizable as human beings. But because of AI, because of super intelligence and like a brain machine interface, we can merge with super intelligence. And in our lifetimes, we can become the Übermensch. Instead of taking thousands of years, we can do it in like 100 years. All right, guys, leave a like if you want to become a god like me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.